service, life support to the Stillwater Rotary Club, and then we okay. And then Kim, so when you go to present, just let Mark. Did you guys?
Yes.
Yes.
I thought maybe she did Zoom.
So then I would share the screen and I would share, and it looks like, well, Mark will share the screen. Okay, you just let me know when you want to do the slide. Because I've got the live portion and I've got the slide. Okay, the camera is going to be right there, so you're going to want to be there. So maybe I won't do a lot of live. Maybe I'll. Well, no, you can totally do it. Because how are you going to be live? Yeah. Well, so if we go back to the share screen. Okay. What I thought it would do is bring the microphone over here and then go to the computer from here.
Oh, well, you can do that. Yeah, then we can just.
Yeah, because I want to go back and forth between the Libby app, which is that the one right underneath. Oh yeah, we can totally do that. And I want to show what it looks like from the Rochester website. Okay.
We have another spot for the USB. Can we use your thumb drive?
You can take this out, but I have to not lose that. That's for my batteries. I'm gonna put my pocket. That's for my headset. And then so it's a matter of. Oh, you don't have that particular camera turned on.
Oh, right.
It's using the.
It's using yours.
It's using my camera, so you
Secure.
have to
I was
tell it
at.
to use this camera.
I'm like, I'll get out of bed. I'm ready to go.
Well, see, I've got it. I did it a while ago. Let's see here now. I'm not real familiar with
Let's
TC.
go
So
up
let's go
here.
here.
You gotta, because we're no
You wanna
longer
close it?
sharing.
Okay, you want to close that one?
Yep.
Go.
And then we want to go down to.
Go.
Yeah.
Joe. Yeah, you started.
Okay, hi.
Right, and that's scary. Yeah, I'm sitting on my own, like it.
And then we just switch. it to
Yeah, and then
here.
we'll just turn it around to you.
Yeah, because.
Yeah, of course. Now, do you broadcast this so web it or whatever? So
Oh, yeah.
anywhere, yeah. Wow.
Oh, so we need to check the microphone, is that right? Oh, yeah. Probably need to
It's
check
just
the
the pandemic. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, that church is that.
Okay, it says on. Can you hear me?
Video doctor, whatever those telehealth there's.
Hello, hello, hello.
It looks like it's trying to do something, green and red is going up.
Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. Oh, we can stop that. What's that? Yeah. All right, can we get a thumbs up from everybody on Zoom that you can hear? Perfect. All right. Yeah. All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the February 24th midday meeting of the Rotary Club of Rochester. I'm Audrey Betcher, the president of your club. Since we can't be all in the same room, we do want to take a minute to say hi to each other. So let's wave at our Zoom Rotarians and vice versa. It's great to have everyone here. To get things started, we'll go ahead and we'll do the four-way test. And we do thank our hosts for getting our banners up this week. So of all the things we think, say, or do, first, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you. All right. Phil is going to introduce our guests. I'm sorry, Phil. I waited until you took a bite.
We have one guest, Corinne Thule.
Oh,
Over
and
is Chaplain Mayo. You're visiting over for the first time soon.
Here in Rochester. I have been a Rotarian before in Boulder, Colorado, and Logan, Utah. And in Grand Rapids actually was the first one, Grand Rapids, Minnesota, where my grandfather was district governor of 5580, my junior year of high school. So
And where in Mayo do you chaplain?
I have half of my job specifically oriented to supporting staff, just staff care, but I'm also with cardiovascular surgery, heart and lung transplant, and our pain clinic. I love my work. I'm glad to be here, and I think
Do you have other questions? Let's do Corinne.
Thank you. Welcome.
we're glad to have you here and we hope you think about joining.
great to be here.
Birthdays and anniversaries. Diane Ilstrup is February 23rd and Roger Kempers is February 29th. We have anniversaries. Tamsin is 6 years, Joseph is 13, Carla Nelson is 17, and Allie Good is 25 years. Let's celebrate these birthdays and anniversaries. And Michaela Schmidt is going to provide a member spotlight.
Perfect. Can you all hear me? Okay. So as she mentioned, my name is Michaela Schmidt, and I'm here, I guess, to tell you a little bit about myself and my career journey. That's, I think, just beginning, which is fun. I believe I joined Rotary in 2018. I think so. I was born and raised in Kaukauna, Wisconsin, which is a small town outside of Appleton, or about 40 minutes from Green Bay. And then I moved to Rochester in 2015 to attend the University of Minnesota, Rochester, which we refer to as UMR. In college, I was very active. I served as a student government secretary, vice president, and then president for my last 2 years. I also volunteered at Mayo, providing hand massages to patients in pre-op, which was extremely rewarding to be with the individuals who are really typically anxious waiting surgery alone in the pre-op room. During college, I also joined a student organization called the Institute of Healthcare Improvement, and then ended up being the president the semester after joining, which was a learning curve, but really fun. This group of students leads quality improvement studies in various departments at Mayo, such as family medicine, pediatrics, those types of things. Then I traveled to Nicaragua with a group of students from UMR to assist in hosting an outreach clinic. We poured cement floors and dug water trenches. Then I went to the other side of the world the next semester to Africa, where I spent 4 weeks in Uganda. The intention of the internship was maternal and child health, but I also was exposed to like HIV programs. There was a nutrition clinic held by the organization. I observed like routine care physicals, and then attended rural village outreaches. At some of these outreaches, they brought HIV medications as well. Though both great international experiences, I really appreciated my time in Uganda far more than Nicaragua, as I was only there to learn and observe, which I think sometimes we get overwhelmed with traveling internationally and being that white savior. And that's how I felt a little bit in Nicaragua. Whereas in Uganda is much more sustainable. I graduated in 2018 from UMR and was part of the 7th grade graduating class, which is fun as many universities are much older, and UMR has just so much to offer and is vibrant and placed in a great position in the city. I would not be in the place as that I am in if it wasn't for UMR. And especially here at Rotary, as Chancellor Carroll is the one who inspired me to come to Rotary. So thank you, Chancellor. And due to my position as an undergraduate research student in my undergrad, I entered an NIH-funded research postbac program at Mayo in the Department of Gastroenterology and Hepatology through Mayo Clinic's Office for Diversity. I can totally attribute this program acceptance to UMR, as this is a highly competitive program with individuals applying worldwide. And in all reality, I was not qualified as many of the applicants. But because of my previous work in gastroenterology as an undergrad, I was recommended into the program without applying or interviewing and had a position before I graduated, which was really nice to have a next step available. I then spent 2.5 years in my postbac program in hepatology, which is livers. I worked under the supervision of Dr. Lewis Roberts, who is an awesome mentor and a world-renowned hepatologist. My research was more translational and clinical, less basic, and I focused on recruiting and enrolling patients in a biorepository for all types of liver disease, such as HPV, HCV, hepatocellular carcinoma, which is liver cancer specifically. And then more specifically, I managed a worldwide consortium of about 32 to 35 institutions around the world. And the accumulation of these institutions was critical in my other work on a genome-wide association study on cholangiocarcinoma. Cholangiocarcinoma is cancer of the bile ducts in the liver. It is rare, but the symptoms are often minimal and risks are relatively unknown. And unfortunately, the outcome is really poor in these patients. I also oversaw a few drug studies as well. Oh, I should go back. A genome-wide association study, just briefly, it took me a long time to understand, involves the analysis of blood DNA. So we collect DNA from patients with and without disease, and then the blood DNA is genetically sequenced, meaning coded. It looks at the codes that produce proteins in the body and identify them. And then once the common variants, or we call mutations, are found in a disease group, such as cholangiocarcinoma, we can then test for the risk of cholangiocarcinoma early and put patients with the mutations on greater surveillance. We were also looking at the heritability of this cancer. And in my postbac, I also helped organize regional conferences for the American Physician Scientists Association. I had the opportunity to mentor undergrad UMR students, which was really fun. I represented the graduate school at national conferences and then served on the postbac leadership committee. In this role, I learned a lot about science, medicine, and myself. At the time, I was set on attending medical school, but faced some life obstacles that were unanticipated, and that's where how I got to where I am today. And currently, if you could see my background, I'm in a research room, so it has sinks and medical supplies, so I got the blurred thing on purpose. But I am a clinical research coordinator in the Department of Urology, where I manage clinical trials such as device or drug studies. My focus is on bladder and prostate cancer. My day-to-day involvement is identifying patients, reviewing medical records for eligibility, calling patients, discussing the study, consenting the patients, having check-in research appointments with the patients, communicating with drug companies, and then sometimes even collecting data in the operating room, which is really fun. And we are seeing really great results. We just got another positive result yesterday in the major studies I do, which is extremely exciting for the patients, future patients, and myself as well. And then I am also pursuing my master's degree in public health with an emphasis on healthcare administration. I'm really excited to start my internship this summer on quality of education of individuals working in clinical research here at Mayo. And then I'm looking forward ahead to a career focused on patient experience and healthcare quality improvement once I graduate. So I plan to stay at Mayo. And when I'm not working, I like to volunteer for several things. I serve on the planning committee for the Gateway Science Fair, which is a science fair for 3rd through 6th graders, and it's really fun and is this Saturday actually. I'm trained and act as a peer support specialist at the National Alliance for Mental Health. I also work with Strive for Rotary as a mentor and a school co-lead at ALC. And I continue to lead the quality improvement group at UMR and serve on the UMR Alumni Leadership Committee, which is fun to contribute to a place that gave me so much. So when I'm not volunteering or working, I like to hang out with my boyfriend Noah and our chocolate lab Charlie. We like to travel, and I'm really excited to go to Arizona in a month, hike, cook, and try new breweries. There's some good ones in town, but that's about me. Does anyone have questions at all? Thanks for listening.
Oh, John, John, you want to come up and ask? So I don't know that she'll be able to hear you from back there.
So all I want to know is whether Chancellor Carroll can find a better advertisement for her college than Michaela.
I will say that I sometimes come and talk to visitors to UMR, and I enjoyed that.
That's fantastic. We're so impressed. Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michaela. A reminder that the February Share the Love event is still going on to support Rotary International. More information is available in the latest moccasin flower. So world is, let me see, just checking who's on, sorry. World Community Service has pledged support to the Stillwater Rotary Club for a fresh water project in Nicaragua, and we have a short video to share with you on the project. It's the Kristen.
El problema del agua es que aquí no viene. La dificultad ha sido mucho el agua. A veces viene al mes y hay que estar desvelándose solas de la noche. El problema en la comunidad es que el agua no hay, viene cada 15 días y veces. Agarramos lo más son 2 barriles. Afecta porque los niños no van a clase, porque no tenemos agua, no podemos estar así. El problema con el agua es que salado y en el verano se llenan las pipas a agua a veces. ¿No? Aquí viene poco el agua y nosotros tenemos que esperar a la pipa y como no tenemos trastes grandes para guardar, nosotros lo que tenemos que hacer es esto para que la pipa nos regale agua y con esta agua sucia, así como ustedes la ven, nosotros lavamos hasta los trastes porque no hay la oportunidad de tener un agua del grifo donde nosotros lavamos nuestros trastes. Desde hace tiempo, como líder de la comunidad, hemos
estaba insistiendo en la creación de un pozo, ya que el recurso que menos tenemos, agua, escasea mucho para épocas de verano, ya que el pozo que nos abastece está alejado demasiado de la comunidad. Pero actualmente tenemos el problema del agua porque es una situación muy crítica. En clase nos afecta mucho a nosotros como maestras. No tenemos agua ni en el estanque ni en la comunidad. Pues, algunos padres desean no enviar a los niños por el motivo del factor agua. Otra cosa que nos afecta en la escuela es no se realiza la merienda escolar por falta de agua. En el futuro lo que esperamos es que haya un beneficio, algo para la comunidad, como es el agua, lo principal que más podemos tener.
Okay, we thank the World Community Service for providing us with that video and letting us know what they're up to. Next week, we will be back here for our first Thursday committee day. Allie, did you want to do the reflection? Okay.
So I was invited to give the reflection a short time ago, and I thought, how about something on fundraising? Then I thought, no, how about something on volunteerism? And then I was at a meeting of Rochester Friends of Mia looking at how they organize exhibitions. And the man had just a plethora of things, but he opened by talking about how much our world today is consumed by the invasion of Eastern Europe by the Russians. And I quickly Googled and thought, what does one say? And I guess the Pope said it pretty well. He said this: I would like to appeal to everyone, believers and non-believers alike. Jesus taught us that the diabolical evil of violence is answered with the weapons of God, with prayer and fasting. May the Queen of Peace preserve the world from the madness of war. And I reflect on what we've just seen in this video and the work that Rotary does around the world to create peace. And I hope it inspires us to commit to doing more, because we are needed more than ever.
Thank you, Allie. Are there other announcements before we introduce our speaker? All right. Kim Edson is the head of Reader Services at the Rochester Public Library and is responsible for the selection of adult fiction, large print, feature films, recorded music, and related digital collections. She manages the Bookmobile, Reader Services, Readers Advisory Services, adult programming, homebound, and deposit collections. Kim participates in a variety of outreach activities and the promotion of various library programs and collections to underserved populations. Kim serves as a member of the Mayo Clinic Community Engagement and Research Advisory Board, and she's been active in many regional and statewide professional committees and organizations. Kim was the project manager for our Overdrive digital collection, making Rochester the first to offer collections on this platform starting back in 2005. RPL has received national recognition for their digital collection innovations in 2008 and in 2019. And as part of the city's pandemic response, Kim led the COVID hotline team that was in place from March 2020 through last summer. Kim.
Thank you for that. I'm pinch hitting today. And I what time did you tell me I was going to be speaking? I think maybe 10 o'clock. So I pulled together a really quick PowerPoint, but I really like to demonstrate. There are two things that I want to talk to you about, and please at any time pull out the shepherd's hook to pull me away, because I am very passionate about the library's digital services, and I could go on and on and on, and you won't want to hear all that. But let's go ahead and open this PowerPoint presentation, and I want to talk about something that's brand new. And when I mean brand new, we released it in December. If you all have one of these devices, might want to get it out, maybe, and we'll, yeah, go here.
Number 2.
Yep. The Rochester Public Library has a new app. Go to your app store and look for RPLMN. And you're going to get this nifty little app right here that will give you access to the library's print collections. Now, the library has 2 apps. This is our newest app. There are some really cool things about this app that I want to share with you. First of all, if you're looking for something interesting to read, we have this little river right here that talks about some of our new and notable books. The other thing that is really cool, I don't know about you, but I like to go to bookstores. I like to talk about books with my friends. Maybe somebody has a book they want to recommend. All I have to do is scan the barcode in the back, and it will tell me if the Rochester Public Library owns it, and I can place it on hold right then and there. Super awesome. Library location, hours, you know, the basics are listed there. And you can find out about your holds, your account information. And the other thing, you know, those little pieces of plastic are really hard to hang on to. You can insert your library card right on your phone, and you will have it with you. Well, I don't know about you, but my phone is like my new wallet, right? So you have your library card with you anywhere. Has anybody used this app yet? No? Okay, well, oh, Audrey has. Audrey has. How often do you use the scan feature?
I have to admit, I use Libby way more than I use this app because I never planned that.
Well, what a great segue. We're going to talk about Libby. Libby is my very best friend. So we'll do the next slide. Libby is the second app. It is not new. It's been around for a while, and this is how you get at the library's digital collections. So if you go to your app store and you look for Libby by Overdrive, that's the app that you want to download. Now, I don't know how many of you use Kindle, Amazon Kindle, or use Audible. You don't need to pay for that. The library's already paid for it for you. We'll have those collections available to you digitally 24/7, anytime, any place you have internet access. And now those of you who were early adapters, 2005, I'm sorry, I keep moving around, right? 2005, when we first offered this collection, we used an older app, okay? That older app is no longer. If you are still have it on your device, either your iPad or your phone, it will still work kind of, but as soon as you have a problem with it, we're going to encourage you to switch over to Libby, because all the problems disappear with Libby. And one of my favorite things about Libby, I read from here every night. Before I go to bed, I read my book here. Well, gosh, I don't like standing in line, and I don't like being bored. So if I'm stuck at the doctor's office or standing in line at the grocery store, I could just open my Libby. It remembers right where I left off on my iPad, and I can take it with me anywhere I go. So it works across devices. Now, just want to give you a couple basics, the next slide, about our collection. In 2019, the Rochester Public Library, right before the pandemic, was recognized for having the largest digital collection for a library of our size. Now, if you've ever been on a waiting list for one of our titles, it's not big enough. We're always accepting donations for a collection, I promise you that. But we have over 33,000 ebooks. We have over 15,000 audiobooks. And we, in the last year, we had over 500, well, that over 450,000 checkouts and over almost, well, 188,000 holds. Audrey will tell you, I'm always asking for money to reduce those hold lists. Be patient, okay? One of the things that's really nifty with our holds is we have this thing called a lucky day collection. And if you have your name on a waiting list for something and you just happen to go into your app and one of those lucky day copies are available, boom, it pops up. So don't get discouraged about the long waiting lists. We're trying, we really are. The other thing I want to show you, and this is where I have to go live. So I'm going to scooch over to my computer. There are a couple of things I want to show you that's really cool. Let's see here. So this, yeah, thank you. So this is Libby right here. And we have what is an interlibrary. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Ooh. Let me. Help me. I got to change the screen. I'm here, but it's not presenting. So I have to go back in Zoom and I have to do share screen and I have to pick this one.
We're not seeing it yet.
You're not seeing it yet. Well, because I haven't hit share. Now are you seeing it?
Maybe stop share and then reshare.
Perfect. Looks good to me.
They're seeing it. We're not seeing it. Whoops. Okay. Let me. Let me just like close that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Pinch hitter. Okay. Woo, there we go. Let's see if I can get this bigger. Oh, I want that to go away. And I want to show this. Okay. A lot of work to show you this really nifty option about interlibrary loan for digital titles. If you have a Rochester Public Library card, you can now get access to the Selco collection. You just go to the Selco library, tell them you're a Rochester Public Library patron, and then enter your number, and you can get access to the Selco collection. So then boom, our collection just got bigger. And which is also fair, as the Selco users can then borrow things from the Rochester Public Library. And if you're like me and collect library cards from other communities, I also have a library card from the Twin Cities that gives me access to the Melissa collection. Now, why would I want to do that, right? Well, because as large as our collection is, it's not big enough, right? And I'm a series reader, and so we might have a couple titles in the series, but maybe another library has the other one. And it's how we have always shared collections. I really like being able to do that. So if you're not on the app, there are a couple things I do want to show you from our library webpage. If you go under books and more, Overdrive and Libby, this takes you to our webpage version of the Libby. One of the things that we have that is new, magazines, right? Magazines are available on Libby. You just search for magazines. It'll even notify you when a new issue comes out. So you don't have to subscribe anymore. Another way your taxpayer dollars are saving you money. Okay, and then last but not least, and I'm gonna see if I can show here, the My Account. If you go to settings, and you can only do this when you're at your computer, not from the Libby app. I'm making things so complicated here. Is you can go to your settings and you can change your lending defaults. Every time you check out a book, it gives you the option 7 days, 14 days, 21 days. No worries about that. You can set it to the longest default. And then you won't have to answer that question every time. This is something I do for everybody who calls me. I say, hey, do you want your default set to 21 days? And everybody's really happy about that. The other thing about that is the flip side to that is that when you are done reading your books, sorry. When I go to done with my settings, when I go to my titles, my loans, sorry, because Zoom is here on the corner, so I apologize for that. When I go to my loans, if I am finished reading something earlier, important to know that we pay for this for one user at a time. So if you are reading it, that means that somebody else can't. So if you check it out for the highest number of days, do something really nice for everybody else. And let me show you on Libby, return it early because that is kind of a nice thing to do for the other people who are waiting for the list. You click on the manage loan and then return early. The other thing, this is kind of a secret that maybe isn't a secret to the power users. It's not quite ready on Libby yet, but maybe you're looking for a book that the library doesn't own. Okay, you can go and do a search and you can look for things that the library doesn't own. And let me put this down and show you how. I'll let you do that. So the web page version, Overdrive Libby. I do my search. So Brian Freeman just came out with a new book, Ursulina. It's amazing. It's a follow-up to the Deep Snow. But maybe there's something that we don't have yet that he wrote. You can click on recommend to library, and then it will show you everything, the things that we own and the things that we don't. And so, for example, this is his very first book, was up for a Minnesota Book Award for his debut. We don't own it anymore. We used to, but maybe you want to go back and read his very first book. You can just click recommend, boom. Then that goes to the selector. And once a week, we purchase titles that people recommend. You can do that 3 times every 3 months, or basically once a month, because I don't have a big enough budget to buy all the books that everybody wants, but I try. I really try. So that's the digital collection. And I'm going to go back and take questions. Sorry.
Do we maybe want to stop sharing? And can you let Lance in?
Let me see if I can figure out how to do that.
You can just click edit,
And stop share.
and there we go. And this is going to fall again, you can just tell.
Okay, any questions? Yes.
Does this replace Overdrive?
It is. So the question was, does this replace Overdrive? This is Overdrive. Libby is just the bigger, better, faster, new Overdrive. You want to get rid of the old one. The old one is no longer supported. You might still be able to make it work. I promise it's a little hard at first, but you won't be disappointed. Libby takes care of so many problems that the Overdrive used to have. It's been done before. The library is open until 7 o'clock, Monday through Thursday. So 8 o'clock, sorry, 8 o'clock, Monday through Thursday. So yes, you can call us at night. I have at times answered chat from Facebook questions.
Do you want to talk about how you can filter when you search?
Sure. That is really a nifty thing, and I have to go back. Sorry. Not everybody likes all the things, right?
Well, I use it all the time to find new authors. And so. I'm gonna
Could you also remind us what the new app is called? Because you said it really super fast.
So there's two apps. There's the Minnesota Public Library app, and that's just under RPLMN. I don't think it has a name other than that. And then there's the Libby by Overdrive app. Okay, so I was asked, how do I do the limits? That is a really good question. So I go here to search. And I like to, well, let's skip the line. I like to look at what's new, right? And then I want to go to my preferences and I want to see only what's available now because I want something to check out today. Okay, I can apply the preferences and boom, my search for the skip the line these are the ones that are available today. Okay, other things I can do, I want to go back to a different search. I personally am a mystery reader, so I'm going to go to the mystery, put this down. Helps if I could spell. That's a lot of mystery, right? 1,780. If I go to my preferences, I've already said available now, but I want to only look at ebook because I don't want to listen to it right now. I only want things that are in English. And the other, I'm going to apply those preferences. Still quite a bit. Oh my gosh, I'm probably not doing this quite right. I can also further refine here with this little ditty here, and I can change it to audience, okay? This is something that is really important. I don't want the kids' books. I don't want the young adult books. Maybe I want the adult content, the ones that are a little bit racier. Maybe I'm working with my grandchild and oh no, we're gonna only go with the super kid-friendly thing here. So we'll change that audience from the mature content to the juvenile. Okay, any other questions? I think I'll just stay here in case I need to show something. You don't? Oh, the RPL one? Libby only does the digital titles. The RPL one does our physical collection. So the things that are actually in the library. Now, the thing that's tricky is there is an option on the regular app, the first one I showed you, that says ebooks. Don't use it. I mean, you can, and it might sort of work, but it is buggy. If you care about digital, go see your friend Libby. If you care about the physical, do the first one. Yes.
So I'm just going to ask again because, and can you slowly say the first app title? Because I got the Libby one, but I've been putting in chat like what I'm hearing and I'm not fast enough with cognition to write down exactly because I keep trying to search for the app and not finding it.
So if you go to your app store, R for Rochester, P for public, L for library, M for Minnesota, N, and you should see, it should start to populate with our little logo.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I apologize, I went too fast. I get excited. Yes. I do not. I am not familiar with the Epic. I know that the Overdrive counterpoint for kids is called Sora, and there's one school in Rochester that uses that, but I am not familiar with that. We do have a Tumble Book collection for kids. That's a separate digital collection, but I don't know about Epic. What can you tell us about it? Yep. Yeah, the publishers are kind of sticky that way. They want their money, and then we want the creators to get paid for creating, because that's why we get to read, right? But yeah, there's licensing limitations with schools and the public. And if we want to talk about more, there's another resource called eBooks Minnesota. If you just Google eBooks Minnesota, the nice thing about that resource is it's paid for by the state. You don't have to do anything to authenticate, because it just knows that you're in Minnesota when you're accessing your account. If you travel like to Arizona for the winter, you can create an account so it will follow with you. But that's really helpful for classrooms, because you can do simultaneous use of multiple copies. And a lot of Minnesota authors are there. And some of our big reads that we did during the pandemic, the statewide reads, use that resource. Oh my gosh. See, I'm losing the shepherd hook. So in the old days, it was really wonderful. I could buy a copy and the library would own it, and then it could check out as many times as possible. Then HarperCollins says, well, that doesn't really work with the print materials, because print materials wear out and then you have to rebuy it. Well, that's true. So they changed. Some publishers still let me buy it and I own it. Some publishers say you can check it out 26 times and then you have to rebuy it. Well, that was like scandalous initially, because, but at least I could manage what my cost per checkout was, right? And then some publishers said, well, no, I don't think we like that so much. We're going to do it for 2-year checkout or 24, whichever comes first. And that one's really hard. It's probably the most expensive model. And if there are titles that you don't see in our collection, it's probably because it's a less popular author that has that model for lending. So we're constantly managing different lending models. The other thing that's really nice about that, not nice, but the way that we share with Selco is we allow Selco to borrow the 24 or 2-year checkouts and vice versa. But the ones where the library is charged a cost per circ, we only allow Rochester Public Library patrons to check those out. And a lot of the questions are like, well, what about video, right? Because video streaming, that's all the thing. Those models for libraries are really expensive right now. I would have to pay $3 anytime somebody viewed video on some of the streaming services that are available today. And with the amount of demand for our video collections, we just don't have the money to sustain it. And we're in a really tricky time from a collection standpoint, because there are a lot of movies that aren't being released in DVD right now, and a lot of movies that we can't make available. We're constantly watching the changes in this industry, but if that is one of the things we're struggling with right now. There are some tools, right? So there is a kids portal, and you can limit just to children's age for the kids portal. And it is hard for me to navigate this part, but let me see if I can. If I go to the library webpage, there's a kids and teens section right here, and you can set up Libby to just limit it to kids and teens, and anything that's searched from here will be for that age group. Yeah. Any other questions?
I can't see the chat. Can you see if there's a question in the chat?
I will stop sharing. Any questions in chat? Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. I really, really appreciate Kim jumping in. We found out this morning that Armin was not available today, and so we were scrambling, and I really appreciate it. And Kim, as a thank you for your presentation, a gift will be given to the nonprofit youth organization Journey. So as we close out today, I want to give thanks to all who assisted. Mark for helping us with technology. It's been a little wild of a day. Christine Erke, who was our greeter. Allie, who provided the reflection. Michaela Schmidt for providing a member spotlight. Phil for introducing our visitors, and John Woodruff, our sergeant at arms, and for helping at the visitors table. And again, a huge thank you to Kim. So thank you all. Serve to change lives. We are adjourned.